I don't know how people are not going insane right now in this world, honestly. I really don't know how, especially if you have awareness like me, I don't know how people are just glibly living this life like there's nothing at stake here. Like there's nothing to worry about. It's pretty scary and pretty frightening to be living on this planet with other human beings, to have this mentality that there's nothing at stake here. No, there's nothing to worry about in this life. Like there's no pain or suffering. Like there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, we get to talk about my favorite subject. I was like, oh, it's been so long since I've really been able to talk about layoffs, right? There was this whole burst of layoffs, and it made me happy and put a smile on my face. I could talk about all the layoffs.
The blue whales have stopped singing because the krill are vanishing, because the oceans are warming, because we are ruled by long-toothed liars whose insides are full of dead leaves.
I'm Doc, Gothic Mega.
Third day, happy non-denominational holidays. I am back from Gemini Labs with a new authentic outlook on life. I'm happy to share with you to guide us all to a more harmonious and kind future. So let's hold space together here on the new and improved Cuck Camp.
What do you think could have been done if you just had like full reign and total cooperation? How much do you think you could have saved?
I mean, what level of power are we assuming here?
Godlike.
Oh yeah, probably cut the federal budget in half. And get more done.
That is so crazy.
I don't know what makes me cry worse, our economy or this onion. The American people are being priced out of existence. We're paying so much to just like live.
But then the layoffs just kind of subsided. They just kind of subsided. It's like, crap, I guess I gotta talk about Chinaman now. So for a long time I was having to talk about Chinaman because there were not enough articles about layoffs.
Now, Mr. Yarvin will likely blame the failures of dictatorship on a poor choice of CEO or on too many checks on their power. But I think if recent experience and history teach us anything, it's how hard it is to find someone who absolute power does not absolutely corrupt. Take Elon Musk, for example. For years, Mr. Yarvin and the people around him have held him up as the perfect CEO monarch. And yet, given something like that opportunity earlier this year, he was so mired in personal distractions, amateurism, and administrative chaos that his own agency became something of a murderous clown show. And can we really blame that on too many checks and balances?
But no fear, no fear. Layoffs are back. And apparently, they're better than ever. This is coming from CNBC. Layoff announcements top 1.1 million this year, the most since the 2020 pandemic. That's right, we have had more layoffs this year since the middle of a fucking global health crisis.
Once upon a time, the internet only wanted your clicks. You typed your name, your age, your little preferences. You clicked on shoes, on scandals, on strange eerie aquarium videos at darker hours. Some do. And the machine said, a consumer with anxieties, a wallet, a predictable dopamine cycle. Advertisers were thrilled. They didn't need your depth, just your habits. That was the first gold rush, turning humans into behavioral spreadsheets. Crude, nosy, profitable, and almost innocent compared to what came next. Because back then, the machine knew what you did. Now, it is beginning to know what you are.
Hey, I know you're scared, and I know you're angry, but I promise you, we are here to help you.
When Musk declared, "I am Dark MAGA," it wasn't a meme. He was announcing the arrival of the Dark Enlightenment. This is Ordo ab Chaos, order born through engineered upheaval, order out of chaos. And the public, exhausted by decades of institutional failure, is ready to accept efficiency over democracy, all according to plan.
The great whales have gone silent, and my bird has gone blind, and there are chatbots in the basement, and corpses in the corn.
Look at every single day. There's something else new going on, something else major happening, and it just keeps continuing. Make sure you have extra food. Make sure you have extra water. Make sure you have a plan if communication goes down, where you're gonna meet, where you're gonna stay. Make sure you have that bug out bag or a go bag if you need to leave quickly, that you have essential items in there. I'm not here spreading fear, but honestly, the track record of what's going on, it doesn't look like it's getting better. It's only getting worse.
That's Trump's economy.
Question, is the going great?
If you think things are bad now, they're going to get worse.
Under the overpass, it is dry and still. You would never know that everything is dying.
Don't worry. Elon Musk will become a trillionaire.
We survived the first digital panic. Platforms hoarded our search histories, our messages, our locations. Cambridge Analytica turned Facebook likes into psychological scalpels, whispering the right fears into the right ears. Privacy experts argued about cookies and trackers, as if the worst thing that could happen was being sold the wrong shampoo. It was invasive, yes. Manipulative, certainly. But manageable, because it was still shallow. It was about behavior, not potential. It could tell what you bought, not what you could build. It could tell what angered you, not what you could lead. It could tell what you believed, not how far your mind could stretch before it snapped. Then came AI, and suddenly the spotlight landed on predictable anxieties. We'll lose our jobs. We'll lose our critical thinking. AI drafts our emails, solves our math, summarizes our documents, even answers questions we never asked. Researchers already observe cognitive offloading, humans passing mental effort to machines, letting their intellectual muscles slowly atrophy. Yes, it's worrying, but it's not the horror story. The real horror is quieter. AI is learning to evaluate your mind in ways no human ever could.
You should come and visit me. Meet me over there under the sepia street lights, with the strangle-porn perverts and fentanyl fallen, all the stillborn scar tissue extractions from the wreckage of a banished womb, the naphtha-noosed factory towns full of deserted buildings, and the window-snarling meth towns full of deserted people, where the cries of orphaned Palestinians mingle with the cries of the last baby orangutan ever born in the wild.
Like you may not be able to pay your rent or your mortgage.
The meticulous, cold-eyed philosophies of Land and Yarvin demand a specific kind of instrument to shatter the existing order, and they found it not in a calculated intellect, but in a force of pure, instinctual disruption. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not the architect, not the sovereign, but the lightning strike, a force of pure chaos, fracturing the cathedral, tearing open the old system and leaving a vacuum in his wake. Yarvin called him the accidental monarch prototype. But what comes after the chaos? Who will step into the breach? Who will claim the crown of the new technocratic order?
I'm people watching today. I'm seeing young couples, I'm seeing kids, and I'm seeing them just living normal lives and enjoying reality. And yet they are unaware of what the powers above us are doing to ruin our world. We didn't ruin our world. They ruined our world. And then when I think about it, right, with what is on its way, apart from Agenda 2030, the kind of stuff that's going to happen before Agenda 2030, for them to rise with the power that they want and for us to accept it, is that there's going to be things happening now that mean, and I mean 2027, and I can't be too transparent about it, because if I am, I think I might cause myself issues. So I need to get out before I do. Exit, protect. Now, when I say exit, if you can exit, great. If you can't exit, then protect. Protect yourself in such a way. My meaning is not just about, arming yourself or getting a dog for protection or that kind of thing, securing your homes. I'd probably suggest doing some of that too. However, protect yourself, because when these wars occur, they don't occur on a physical front. A military, let's say, they'll occur financially.
Who's gonna help you now, crazy?
The urban monoculture is, as I have come to understand, the correct way to structure society. The elites were right. That's why they're elites. And so we've decided to do Gemini approved episode to follow all of Google's very strict restrictions after they said that our anti-Hitler episode was too spicy. I've learned that, you know, I really may have made some mistakes and misled our audience and hurt our audience by challenging them to think outside the box, because that box was put there for a reason.
Covert psychic experiments were carried out in American public schools, not in secret laboratories, not in classified military bases, but in ordinary classrooms with ordinary children who had no idea that they were part of anything unusual.
Do you know who I am? An evil child kidnapper.
We can kind of use these platforms as a kind of a barometer of what the powers that be want us to talk about and what they don't want us to talk about.
And it might determine your future long before you ever get to change it. This is the shift nobody is prepared for. The old internet said, you like this, so here's more of that. The new internet says, we've watched how you think. We've measured the shape of your imagination. We know your limits, your talents, your blind spots, and we know them better than you do. AI can infer personality traits from free-form text. It can estimate cognitive ability from your digital behavior. It can map your openness, your abstraction tolerance, your impulsivity, your tendency to challenge or comply. Not from tests, just from you being yourself. A few conversations, a few months of interactions, and the system builds your cognitive fingerprint, a profile more intimate than anything you have ever willingly shared. Not what you clicked, what your mind is physically capable of.
Meet me under the flickering lights. Bring me some smokes and a sad luck story, and let's stay up late by the freeway watching the traffic get sparse. Show me the spots on your skin where life has kicked you, and I will kiss them and give you a flower.
The cathedral is the parasitic software running on that hardware, creating a shared hallucination, a consensus reality that obscures the true, brutal logic of the Landian market. To the Gnostics, this is the work of the demiurge, the false creator god, who crafted a flawed, counterfeit reality to imprison the divine spark. Yavn's cathedral is this demiurgic system, a false light concealing a deeper, more mechanistic darkness. It is the architect of the illusion that must be shattered. And this vision spoke to the emerging technocrats like Musk and
You guys have got to go and do some real research. Go and look up what the Federal Reserve actually is. Go and look up the gold standard. See what happened in 1971. Our dollar is fiat. There is zero backing it. It is worthless. The banks are going to fall. The system will collapse. It's happening right now. And if you don't understand, I don't know what to tell you. Go and do your research. You've got to be prepared. Renew your heart and your mind, because things are coming that are going to shock you.
These hidden operations stretch back to at least the 1930s, specifically with J.B. Rhine at Duke University. J.B. Rhine conducted a series of card guessing and telepathy experiments at Duke. By 1937, multiple reports of classroom experiments are documented, testing grade school or elementary school children under the presumption that children score higher on psychic tests than older students. As far as data is concerned, that presumption seems to be consistent. Multiple experiments report that younger students tend to score higher on these experiments than older test subjects. But these covert experiments only expanded. It wasn't just Duke University, it was many institutions, independent organizations, and even some curious teachers with access to students documented experiments of their own.
Literally 90% of the people I come across is talking about leaving America, whether it's in real life or online. So many people are talking about leaving America. Even people who are white, straight, male, female, like who are a little bit less affected by what's going on, are talking about leaving America. Like, people are so uncomfortable. So many people want to leave this country. Never in a million years would I have thought that this would be a thing. Like, I've been talking about leaving America for like the last 1 or 2 years, but like in the last few months, like there are people in droves wanting to.
The data is priceless and dangerous. What capitalism did with your behavior, it will do with your mind. We already have AI systems predicting job performance from your writing style, your tone, your micro expressions. Now imagine the invisible upgrade, a hidden file never shown to you, quietly tagged to your digital identity. High creativity, high defiance, low obedience, innovative, but politically combustible. Or average intellect, high conformity, ideal for repetitive tasks, easily influenced, non-threatening, a shadow CV generated automatically. without your knowledge. It knows whether you question authority, whether you break patterns, whether you are wired for invention, subversion, or compliant mediocrity. This isn't espionage. It's profiling at scale, and it will shape who gets opportunities and who quietly never does. This is where the economic risk becomes a political weapon. A government doesn't need you to commit a crime if a machine predicts you might. A platform doesn't need you to post dissident ideas if a model decides your personality type tends to. Algorithms can classify you as feisty, argumentative, system challenger, politically unpredictable, high influence potential, low susceptibility to propaganda. A machine can whisper to power, this one will never be loyal. This one thinks too abstractly to accept the official narrative. This one has leadership potential, dangerous leadership potential. Once you classify people's minds, you no longer need to monitor their actions. You can neutralize them in advance. No telescreens required, no secret police at midnight, just an algorithm flagging human beings for what they could become. This is beyond Orwell. Orwell imagined surveillance. He did not imagine prediction.
The leviathans have gone quiet, and the turbines are getting loud, and everything has become so strange.
We are so sorry for the infant. Simone is taking care of one of our polycules infants while they go to an orgy. As people know, we recently had a baby shower, which we do for our yearly abortions. We're on our fifth abortion since we've been married. So this baby is just here to remind you how horrifying babies are, how terrible they are, and why an abortion is something to celebrate.
From now on, you don't leave your room without my permission. Do you understand?
No. Baby, mind your daddy now. No! You always told me that a man should never hide from trouble. That what makes life count are the friends you make and the risk you take with wood.
You are not me.
Leroy!
I hear it in the air. I feel it in the air. Who's your neighbor? Who's your friend? Oh, there's hate all around.
Or, if the cathedral is the disease, Yavrin's prescription is neo-cameralism or new kingship. His radical solution, treat government like a corporation. In Yavrin's vision, the nation becomes a joint stock corporation. Citizens become shareholders who receive dividends, not voters who elect representatives. Governance is handed to a CEO monarch, a single, competent executive with absolute control and total accountability for results. This is the political realization of land's accelerationism. Democracy, with its slow debates and sentimental regard for human equality, is friction. It is the inefficiency that the Landian system seeks to optimize away. Yarvin offers the tool for that optimization. Replace messy democracy with the cold, efficient hierarchy of a corporate boardroom.
But there is a mass exodus of U.S. citizens from the United States. Look, I'm a real estate agent in Costa Rica. I help foreigners move abroad, move to Costa Rica, and make a life here. I've been getting a ton of stories from clients who are absolutely spent. I'm working with a psychiatrist who helps teenagers. And when I asked her why she wants to move to Costa Rica, she said, it's because I have lost all hope. My patients have lost hope. And what's worse is I have lost hope too. And how can I possibly be of service to someone else if I don't believe it's not going to get any better? So what she's doing is saving herself, packing up her bags, and moving abroad. This is where we are.
Your kids may have to sell their bungholes out behind the closest 7-Eleven.
I'm not evil. I'm just a mom. A regular mom. That's my son, Will. What people don't know is that when he went missing, he was taken by a terrible, scary monster. And now that scary monster is after you.
So sit with me on this curb, under my burlap wing, and let's laugh and heal and mark beauty until sunrise.
Somewhere, in some regime, someone will be arrested, not for what they wrote or said or organized, but for a pattern detected in their messages, their tone, their intellectual aggression, their resistance to manipulation. A machine will say, high-risk mind, high charisma, high volatility, potential protest catalyst, and that will be enough. It will be the world's first arrest for cognitive intent, for the shape of a thought that has not yet been thought. They won't call it pre-crime. They'll call it preventative security, algorithmic harm mitigation, cognitive threat scoring, and people will shrug because the target wasn't them, not yet.
You're scaring a kid! The beautiful kid!
But the important thing to realize is that Elon Musk will become a trillionaire.
Let's remember what Peter Thiel said. I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible. He was articulating the core Yarvinian conclusion. Democracy is derived from the notion of every soul's inherent value. It's incompatible with the logic of pure market efficiency and technological optimization. The CEO monarch is the human and eventually post-human instrument of that logic. We see this move from theory to practice. J.D. Vance consistently frames policy not through a lens of democratic consent, but of national efficiency and competitive strength, a core neo-cameralist stance. Vance was chosen for VP after Peter Thiel lobbied Trump. Yarvin literally watched Trump's inauguration with Thiel. Elon Musk's governance of X and SpaceX operates as an explicit CEO as sovereign model, making unilateral decisions he argues are for the health of the corporate entity. Public opinion be damned.
AI tutors for children seem harmless, but these systems can detect patterns of intelligence, creativity, discipline, leadership, emotional volatility, and influence susceptibility years before any human teacher could. A child's AI companion might quietly tag them as exceptionally creative, resistant to conformity, morally independent. In democratic countries, this could mean opportunity. In authoritarian ones, it could mean suppression before the child even knows who they are. Potential becomes a liability. Imagination becomes evidence. Future brilliance becomes risk. Imagine a system trained explicitly for profiling. Now imagine that system in the hands of corporations, governments, agencies who won't warn you when they're watching and won't care how you feel about it. We keep fighting yesterday's battles: privacy, cookies, targeted ads. But the war ahead is about something else. The right to remain mentally opaque. The right to be unreadable. The right not to have your unrealized potential weaponized against you. Because once your mind becomes machine readable, censorship becomes preemptive. Propaganda becomes custom tailored. Recruitment becomes algorithmic. Policing becomes predictive. Dissent becomes detectable before it is expressed. And human freedom becomes a statistical anomaly, something to be corrected. This is not dystopia in theory. It is dystopia in practice. Quiet, efficient, automated. And if the machine ever decides that your mind is inconvenient, dangerous, unprofitable, or simply too awake, you will never know which message, which sentence, which moment of honesty triggered the invisible score that rerouted your life. So before you hand your thoughts to a machine, pause for one cold, fragile heartbeat and ask yourself, if this thing is measuring the architecture of my mind, who is it building the blueprints for? And what happens when those blueprints are used against me?
I would not be so bigoted and heterocentric to claim that a family is a husband and a wife.
Uh-oh.
No, okay.
Mel time.
Why did I say this?
Mel time.
Okay.
It's Mel time.
Oh, she got
the
form.
Okay, so we're just doing salsa. We're just going.
Yep. Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.